Alright, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Son of the living power of the Messiah, which these are the true names of the Most High, and His only begotten Son, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, and Lashon Kodash, which means holy language. Also want to give double honors to the elder apostles, and great millstone and peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers in this truth. Right, in this lesson, I'm going to be touching on the wickedness of this Western world, right? This, the wickedness of Americanization, Westernization, right? Because everything in this society, if you will, even the whole social engineering, is wicked, man. You know, and you know the precept I want to go into is the book of, matter of fact, let's get the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 23. It says, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth." And this is the point I wanted to get from this scripture. "For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived." Right, so by the sorcery of America, particularly Esau, were all nations deceived. Right, and you know I was meditating on this earlier. What Esau trying to do, what he has been trying to do, is trying to merge masculinity with feminine so like I can't really pronounce it, but femininity, you know, or the masculine nature and feminine nature, man. And that's what Esau trying to do, man. He trying to make the female masculine and a man feminine, man. Right? I remember growing up, always seen, especially on television, because television is a big tool for Esau to basically woke the minds of the people and of the young ones, if you will, growing up watching these screens, if you will. Right? And always seen, and this was a meditation. This is all for edification. This is all, you know, for edification, you know. Right? But growing up, I used to see why men was always cutting off their beards, man. You know, to so-called look better. Amen. According to the scriptures, a man's beard is their badge, if you will, their masculine badge. Now, just to touch on that, you know, just to rebuke all evil, to come against all evil, and that's what the right thing to do. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel real quick concerning the beard and why a man should have a beard if he's able to grow one. You know? Let's go to 1 Samuel, Salakia. So I can get it in here in my blue letter Bible. Let's get it real quick. You know, and it's an honor for a man to have a beard, man, if he's able to grow one. And it's an honor for a woman to have long hair. Now, in today's society, a man with long hair is a standard of beauty, if you will. You know, a man with long hair is a standard of beauty, and that's wickedness, man. According to the scriptures, a man ought not to have long hair. That's the glory of a woman. Right, your hair all going down to the shoulders, passing down the shoulders. Even some men have hairs all the way down their waist, man. and this is the token, if you will, of Esau's energy on the earth, workings on the earth, which is ultimately Satan, working, because they tell you in the book of Second Thessalonians or First Thessalonians chapter 3 that Esau, he come after the workings of Satan, which when you go into that Greek word workings in a particular scripture I'm talking about, it means energy, or basically energy. I can't really pronounce the Greek word, but basically energy, which means workings or operation. So Esau, he's in one accord with the workings of Satan. Now get the scripture I was meditating or thinking about. Let's go to the book of I think it's in 1 Samuel. This is 2 Samuel chapter 10 verse 4. It says, wherefore Hanun, which was an enemy of King David, wherefore Hanun took David's servants and shaved off the one half of their beards, and cut off their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away. And that was a way of humiliating them, humiliating their masculinity and their manhood, man. Cutting off half their beard, man. It says, when they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. They were greatly ashamed because their beard was cut off, and other things happened to them as well, right? But this just to show you on how a beard is, is the glory of a man. Just like the gray hair of an old person is their glory. It says, when they told it unto David, he sent them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. So basically, come back when your beard's grown. Because it was humiliating, man. Right, so you got due to Esau's social engineering, sorcery and witchcraft and indoctrination and social programming, if you will, you have men walking around here with no beards, man. Right, you even got these K-pop stars, which these K-pop stars are desired by females from all people around the world, man. Right, so-called K-pop idols, and they feminine as hell, man, concerning the men. Those so-called K-pop idols, man. That's all due to Hollywood, man, and due to the sorcery of Esau. And it's not the focus of this lesson. I just wanted to touch on different things, Lord willing, Yahweh Rakazah, right? But I want to get the book of Job, chapter 17, verse 12, because I had to put out a lesson. In fact, I wanted to put out this lesson, It says, they changed the night into day, and the light is short because of darkness. And this is what Esau did. Esau basically changed everything, which this is symbolic, Esau changed everything. Esau, he literally changed the times. He changed, the calendar, and made it into a Gregorian, I forgot the word, but it's a Gregorian calendar, if you will. This whole calendar is fucked up, messed up. Right, and like I said, Esau, he's trying to merge or switch the roles with females and males, man. He's even trying to merge the masculine nature of a man with a feminine nature of a woman, man. And we see that now. We see that impact on, you know, these young jigs. You know, emotional. You know, in fact, I wanted to get the book of Habakkuk real quick. Right now you have even in these Hollywood movies, you have Esau portraying the female as being a king. Right, that whole king female spirit, you know, which that's wicked as hell, man. That's confusion. You know, that whole female leader of the people spirit, that in these that Esau trying to make the female the head, if you will, over the men. And the man, you know, the runner up, or the man is the damn, you know, supporter, if you will, in the back seat. Right, you even have this movie called The Woman King. You know, portraying a black woman king. You know, I was watching a show thing last night where it's called The Last of Us. It was and it's a very great show, right? And for your information, watching TV is not wicked, especially if you know that there's wickedness in this shit, that there's wickedness in the mainstream media, if you will, in television. If you are aware of it, you are able to, you know, okay, that's wicked. If you have that, you know, ability to discern right from wrong, ain't nothing wrong with, you know, watching television, you know, right? But yeah, I was watching this show called The Last of Us, and in this show, it's a post-apocalyptic movie, you know, where, you know, mankind has been, you know, completely consumed by certain fungus disease, if you will. You know, you got zombies and shit like that, right? And it's a post-apocalyptic world, and you had a damn female, a fat bitch, leading the army, man. That's how they betray these women, man. But in these last days, man, these females are going to be terrified, shaking in their boots, confused. It's not going to be like that. Esau portraying something that is nothing, man. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink," and Esau gave Israel an intoxicating drink, man, which is symbolic for those philosophies and those falsehoods and those doctrines and those lies and those social programming, man, if you will, those philosophies. You know, it says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken. Also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness." Now, when you go into the word nakedness, if I'm not mistaken, basically, I don't know what it means. I don't know the Hebrew word for the word nakedness, but I know what the word nakedness means. It's symbolic for what? Being out of control, unrestrained. You know? Now, going back to the ancient days, just to add on that, when Moses was in the mountain, the people cried unto Aaron, and had Aaron made a molten calf, which was wickedness. And when Aaron made a molten calf, which was sin, an idol, if you will, because they were the people Israel, our forefathers, they were basically concerned with Moses never coming back. They didn't know what happened to Moses. Moses left for 40 days, man, in the mountain. So they didn't know what happened to Moses. And after that, Aaron, or during that time, Aaron made a damn molten calf, and the people, they went out of control. They went out of control, man. They were eating and drinking, having fun. They were just basically out of control. And in fact, just to add on that, let's go to the book of let's just get it real quick, just to get the right context, right? Because I can't really touch on them by heart. Exodus chapter 32 verse 25, and this is what Esau is doing. He's stripping Jake. He has stripped Jake symbolically through history, man. Through social engineering, through religion, through philosophy, through education, through social programming, through witchcraft and sorcery. This is the book of Exodus chapter 32 verse 22. It says, and Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Matter of fact, let's go up here real quick. Verse 19, it says, and it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and it dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and cast the tables out of his hand and break them beneath the mount. Matter of fact, let's go up real quick, because I wanted to matter of fact, we don't need to read all that, but right. So this is basically the people in their nakedness. It's just to get an understanding of what that word nakedness and how it could mean. Exodus chapter 32, verse 18, verse 17. It says, and when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. And so basically, when Aaron made that molten calf, there was a noise of singing. It was basically out of control. Mirth, probably jumping up and mirth, They was probably having fun and wickedness, just like they is today. They're playing, they're sporting, they're out of control, making fun, It says, and he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither it is the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. So they were dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf when they had made, and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. Moses, man, he was an austere man. He was a serious man. Moses was not playing, man. Verse 21. It says, and Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people, that they are set on mischief. And that's the people, hearts, minds are set on mischief today. Right? Lo, the Lord have made man upright, but they have created many inventions, meaning what? Many desires, many wicked plots and plans, and many imaginations, if you will. It says, for they said unto me, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And I said unto them, whosoever have any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, so when it says naked, it's symbolic, not literal. It says, and when Moses saw that the people were naked, For Aaron had made them naked unto the shame among their enemies. Now going to the other translations, NLT meaning Moses saw that Aaron, translation says Moses saw that Aaron had let the people go or get completely out of control, and Esau had made Jacob, Israel, our people Israel, the so-called Black, Latino, Native Indians, almost like unrestrained children, carnal, and that's what Esau fed the carnal nature of Jacob, man, if you will. So read this again. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 16 says, thou art, verse 15 says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right? Look on our shame. Right? And our wickedness is our shame. So, and that's, Esau had put in work, man. Now, to read this scripture again, Job chapter 17 verse 12, they changed the night into day, the light is short because of darkness. So Esau have completely confused, Jake, man, with his sorceries. Not even Jake, the whole earth, with the sorceries, confusion. In fact, let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 4. It says, after verse 5, it says, and upon her forehead, which is concerning America, Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is America. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And America has, basically been that top place that have completely corrupted the whole earth with sorcery and wickedness. Right, the abominations that we see on the earth today is been highly supported by America, by westernization, by Americanization. Right, and concerning the thing with with Esau trying to merge the masculine nature with the female nature. You even have some called in philosophy which I forgot, basically the rundown of it. I may not even touch on it, but that whole I'm not even gonna touch on it. So I don't really remember. But in fact, we could just touch on anything else. Let's not harp on that. Let's go into the scripture. Let's go to the book of let's go to the book of 2 Thessalonians, and then go to the book of Proverbs real quick. When Lord willing, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Ratazah, he bring Yahweh, bring or let me know about the earth's wickedness, because there's so much wickedness on the earth that you can't even consider it all, that you can't even calculate it all, that you can't even remember it all. That's how much wickedness that is and gross darkness that is on the earth, man. Let's go to the book of 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse, let's get verse 9 it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Now going to that word working, in fact, let's just go into it in the Greek, in the blue letter real quick. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Haven't went into this chapter in a minute. Water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But let me go into it now. 2 Thessalonians. And this is concerning Esau. Right, that man of sin, that son of perdition, is concerning Esau. You know, the son of damnation. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9, it says, even him, concerning Esau, whose coming is after the working of Satan, with the spiritual demon Satan, man. It says, with all power, signs and lying wonders. So when you go into the word, if I'm not mistaken, when you go into the word working, in fact, when you go into the word after, it's from the Greek word kata, which means according to, right? So Esau's coming is according to the working of Satan. Now when you go into the word working, it's energia.
Strong's G 1753. Energia.
Right, I pronounced it wrong, but energia, which basically, right, energy, right? This is where you get the word energy from. You know, working, efficiency, operation. So basically, Esau is in one accord with the with the energy of Satan. You know, and Esau is a very lawless man. That's what he wants on the earth. Even you have this saying, so-called do what thou wilt. In fact, when you go into the, you know, with this whole Balenciaga controversy that happened, you know, a couple months ago, you know, I found out that Balenciaga, you know, a famous clothing line, a famous company, a famous entity, if you will, on here on this earth, a famous damn near empire, fashion empire, is the word empire. The word Balenciaga means do what thou wilt, if I'm not mistaken. Do what thou wilt. You know, and that's the a saying of a very famous so like you bear with me. Do what thou wilt. Do what thou do what it's not gonna work.
According to Wikipedia,
Salakia, my bad, man, and forgive me if that messed up the video, but basically that was a saying of a Freemason, a very high warlock or sorcerer called, I think his name was I forgot his name. I think his name was Aleister Crowley. I may be wrong. I may be thinking about somebody else, but he was a very high sorcerer, you know, among, you know, them wicked people, them elites, if you will. And he's very honored in Freemasonry. You know, he's very honored. Right, his nickname was called the Beast. Right, that's what he called himself. Right, and that's the saying of Esau, and that's the vibration that Esau was trying to pull on the earth. Do without lawlessness. You know, now I wanted to get a scripture in the book of Proverbs real quick. In chapter 30 real quick. Verse 20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. Now that's really the spirit that the world is in. Now let me read it again to break it down. Now this is concerning a woman, but we could also apply this to symbolically, or looking at it a spiritual standpoint. You could also apply this to the world, you know. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman, meaning a woman that lay with different people. It says, she eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. Which, you know, so and that's really, in this scripture, really concerning the woman, the adulterous woman that lay around with different people, that do all this wickedness, but still have no shame, saying to herself, I ain't do nothing wrong. And that's the spirit that the people are in, man. Lawlessness, no sense of right direction, you know, and that's all because of Esau, man. That's all because of the workings of Satan, the years of the working of Satan, man. You know, shamelessness, meaning, and the scriptures promote shamefacedness. That's righteous, man. You know, to be shamefaced, that's good. To have shame, right? But this world turn away shame. That's another thing in a society. Shame is frowned down upon. Shame is a disease. Shame is contamination, is pollution in the soul. You know, that's what the world say or portray. But shame is a good. Shame brings forth change. Shame scareth off corruption, man, in a way, right? But this world tell you to put off shame. This world wants you to be liberated in wickedness, or to be free to do wickedness. You know? This world tell you it's okay to put on a woman's dress being a man. It's okay to put on a man's clothing to being a woman, man. It's powerful, you know? When it's wickedness, when it's evil, man. Because really, the things that we see here on this earth with our eyes is really none compared to, you know, what Esau, the rich making families, the elites, the Illuminati, these secret societies, the government and politicians, these rich and powerful, it's none compared what they do behind closed doors, man. Which is cannibalism, witchcraft, idol worship, Satanism behind closed doors, adrenochrome, drinking blood of children. This is what they do, you know. Right, but they ain't gonna go. They ain't gonna go unpunished, you know, because the Lord will, the Lord will destroy him, man. In fact, let's touch on that. You know, I don't want to touch on, you know, one thing, especially something as minor as you know, well, it's not minor, so let me shut up. It's not really minor. But let's go to the book of, I think, Isaiah, not Isaiah, but Sirach. And we can also get that. Sirach chapter 36, verse 9, it says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of thy fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. So them that escape, or those that went unpunished, throughout the years, that have been, because Esau, Edom, the elites, the so-called Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the secret societies, whatever you want to call them, they have been in power and at 40 on the earth, they have been in that 40 seat on the earth for years, man. For a very great season, you know, for a season, man, for a great time on this earth, you know. Right, and the people cry out, calling oppression, because of what they do, man. Right, those are the ones that went unpunished. But it's going to come a time in these last days that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua will destroy him, man, according to prophecy. Right, and Yahweh is not a man that he should lie. You know, he's a man of his word. You know, so it says, "Let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them that oppress the people," you know, it says, "and let them perish that oppress the people." It says, "Smite in asunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we." And I'll tell you this, man, through the years of my because in my young age, I was a conspiracy theorist to a degree, man. Now I'm not, really big into too much conspiracies, because a lot of conspiracies are bugged out, man. A lot of these conspiracy theorists are bugged out, right? But I'm not saying these conspiracies are wrong, but a lot of these conspiracy theorists are bugged out, thinking lizard people ruling the earth, man. That's bugged out, man. You actually have people who think lizard people, reptilians, are ruling the earth. That's bugged out, whole lot of, it's a whole lot of falsehood and rabbit holes in the conspiracy world, if you will, right? So I don't really get too deep into that, but I was and I still am a conspiracy theorist to a degree, right? And I'll tell you this, man, Esau, through the years, through the history, man, Esau have brought together or gathered together his different scientists through the history, through the years, to find out ways how to corrupt the human mind. And I won't be surprised if the U.S. government intentionally, or I won't be surprised if the U.S. government was very conscious or aware of the fact that television could destroy the mind, man, and warp the mind, program the mind. That's why they call it television, programming, man. But I'll tell you, Esau, he bring together his different scientists, his different, psychology researchers, his different, scientists that know about the brain, that know about the human mind, that know about the nature of man to a degree. He bring together these different scientists to find out ways how to corrupt or to govern or to change or to to govern, and he been doing that for years, man, throughout the history, man. You even got some called predictive programming, man. And let me say this, right? That whole thing with the Simpsons, right? People saying the Simpsons be predicting things. That's predictive programming. They're not prophesying. They're not predicting the future. Right? What they do is, right, I'm sure the heads or the people who run that network and run, the show called The Simpsons, they are a part of a wicked organization. You could call them Illuminati. You could call them a lot of them sold their soul, man. A lot of them part of the wickedness. A lot of them part of the Satanism. A lot of them are part of the Illuminati, man, or being used, man. So they ain't predicting nothing. It's just predictive programming where they show you things before it happened to desensitize you. And really you could think really a person from a spiritual standpoint could say that's sorcery. That's sorcery to to a certain degree. And whether you want to think of it or not, sometimes a lot of sorcery and witchcraft is science. It really is science. In fact, the word science means knowing or knowledge. Right? Something that you know, knowing or knowledge. That's what the word science means. You know? To know, knowledge, knowing, you know? And a lot of the witchcraft and sorcery that Esau do is science. You could call the science. Hey, it's not wrong to call a lot of the witchcraft that we see science. But it's on the left hand side. It's wickedness. It's evil though. You know? Because a lot of the witchcraft and sorcery, you know, even when you go into pharma, you know, big pharma with the drugs and stuff like that, that's pharmakia. Those drugs, pharmakia, which means sorcery in the Greek, right? When you go to Revelation, it's a scripture that speaks about sorcery or sorceries, which when you go into it, it means pharmakia. You know, and a lot of that is science on the left hand side. Now, I'm not condemning anyone who do take medicine, right? If you have to take medicine, hey man, I'm not, condemning you at all, right? Because you got some brothers in the truth that, take medicine, to keep on working, if you will, right? Because we in these bodies and we in a society, if you will, right? But so a lot of the witchcraft and sorcery that Esau do is really science. It's knowledge that he were given on a left hand side. That's on the left hand side. Concerning the word, I had to throw in my slocky. I was ready to say these witchcraft and sorceries that Esau do, even minor that these different witches do, these minor witches, right? It's a lot of instructions to it. It's a lot of instructions to it, right? That's why you got some of these females that use ashes, damn ashes, got the Latin, I don't know what degree of witchcraft or if it worked, I don't know. A lot of these females, in modern age, especially even these young females in today's age in the West, they practice witchcraft. They practice witchcraft, sorcery. I remember when I had TikTok, there's a lot of females that practice sorcery. Using cinnamon. I don't know if that was witchcraft, if it was actually witchcraft, but they do some shit with different, things and shit like that, So really, Esau was given knowledge on the left hand side, Right, so let's get into the scriptures. I don't want continue meddling on anything. I just want touch on different things, Lord willing. Let's go to the book of let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Alright, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 31, it says, "And this was an occasion to deceive the world." And Esau, he deceived the world, man. It says, "For men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God, but whereas they lived in great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called a peace. Right? And Esau have completely brought a shadow or covering of ignorance upon the whole earth. A great veil has been covered covered or clothed upon the whole earth, if you will. And that's really done because of Esau. In fact, let's hold this real quick. Right, and right now we're in a war of ignorance. Right now we're the whole earth has been consumed by ignorance. Right now the people walking in darkness. The people walketh in unpleasant places, symbolically speaking. Because of this damn devil, man. This is the book of Micah. And really I was ready to touch on one thing. Right, but hey, this is good, Micah chapter 2 verse 1 says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." And Esau, he worketh evil upon the bed, man. Especially in this country. It says when the morning is light, they practice it. Meaning what? They're persistent in wickedness. So Esau, he's persistent in wickedness, man. And Esau probably conspiring to do wickedness right now, man. Conspiring a damn psyop right now. A damn anything right now, man. Since they practice it, it says because it is in the power of their hand. Now, when you go into the word power, the Hebrew word is Allah, El, Allah, which means God. When you go into that Hebrew word Allah, it means God. You also get the word power or godlike. So Esau, he has godlike power on this earth. In fact, when the scripture speaks about the God of this world, in the book of 2 Corinthians, when the scripture speaks about the God of this world have blinded them, that's concerning Esau, Edom, man. Because Esau, he is Satan. He is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, man. So Esau, he have, and what is godlike power? To be able to govern the mind, to be able to govern the mind. That's godlike power. To deceive the nations like Esau did, that's godlike power. To make the nations in the earth believe in philosophy, wicked, false philosophy, believe in a man named Jesus Christ, to believe in Christianity and Catholicism. That's a great work, a very massive thing to do. So going back, Wisdom Solomon chapter 14, verse 22, it says, "Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in knowledge of God, but whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices," and this is what Esau do behind closed doors, killing children, babies, human sacrifices. Probably can't say that on YouTube, or use secret ceremonies or made revealings of strange rite, meaning, strange rituals. These different celebrities and politicians, what they do behind closed doors, they do different, rituals, to continue in a great position or to go onto a position in life. It says, it says, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled. And yeah, in this society, and one thing I heard, and it was a woman that said this, and she's a part of I forgot her name, but this particular woman I'm talking about is a part of the red pill community. Now she basically spoke about how television and movie, Hollywood basically corrupted, the idea of marriage, a relationship, of romance. And Esau did that, man, through his Hollywood, through television, through social engineering, through literature, romance books and shit like that, because literature is a big part of humanity, but Esau, he corrupted the whole earth through these things, right? And they corrupted the idea of what marriage and relationships and romance should be. They painted a wrong image of what romance should be, of what marriage should be. That gave people different, standards, wrong standards, unfair standards, especially these females, man. Confused the hell. Esau, through social engineering, social programming, through these philosophies, through different sorceries, have damn near confused, these females, man. Right? No, really, to get a right idea of what marriage is, read the scriptures. It's really more simple than the world try to portray it, man. Right? Forgive me, I'm a little bit sleepy, if I'm talking weird. Right? But a marriage and relationship and romance is more simple than it is, man. When you read the scriptures, marriage is more simple than it is. Than this world try to portray it to be, man. It's a they sugarcoat it. They just paint a wrong image, and really the whole world don't really have a good mind toward what a good relation. Well, some do, right? Especially these different older couples and different older females and men that have live in different time periods, different times. They have a better idea of what marriage is and what romance is than they do now in Generation Z, if you will. I remember I may have to close out, but I remember I was watching a show called Sopranos, right? Concerning an Italian family, right? And this female stayed in a mobster, if you will, and basically she was set on keeping or staying with this murderer called Tony Soprano, man. Right? And the reason why I thought basically what I'm trying to say is she had a better mind towards marriage than a lot of these females do today. And the reason why I say that is because she was fighting for a marriage, man. She understood. Even these I'm not going to talk about no damn show, but even these old females, that live in different times, they have a better idea or mind towards marriage. They understand that, hey, once you in a marriage, once you in an agreement with another man, you can't go back. Right, that's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm rambling and stuff like that. I'm trying to find my words, but that's basically what I'm trying to say, The older generation know once you enter into a marriage, ain't no going back. Ain't no backing out. If you become a woman, if you become a wife, you're bound by that man. You're bound by your husband. Now your husband is not bound by you, but you're bound by him. You're bound to him. Because a man can have multiple wives, and that's what females don't understand. A man is not bound by his wife, to his wife, but the wife bound to the man. And when you read the scriptures, it sometimes implies that in a marriage, the woman is bound by the man, by the husband. Symbolically, not literal, but symbolically. So a man can have multiple wives if you want. Right, but just to add a couple of things to this video. In today's relationships, in today's marriages, you do one thing wrong, a female would dump you. Or if a female see anything, a person that got a better job than you, they dump you. Even the men would do likewise as well. They do the same. Right? No one has a good mind towards marriage now, man. Right? Marriage is a covenant. It's a very serious thing. That's why, if I don't even want to add more to this. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles, the great millstone, the peace and blessings unto the elect. And salute, shalom to the fellow livers in his truth, and all praises and honor and glory be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shalom.